dollars are going to have to be appropriated at an earlier stage rather than programmed into the picture. So, yes, you were correct, but the date is earlier. And the problem in that area, ladies and gentlemen, is the street mains the street water mains in that area are very small. There is no water flow there. There is no fire flow for the school to be built. That's the reason the tower has to be built. If the tower was built on the school property, the school building fund would not reimburse the town. That's the reason it has to be built off the property. The other key would be to put in a fire flow tank. A fire pump would be installed to boost pressure for the construction of the school. In the project of the Millen property, there's roughly 30% of the homes are going to have booster pumps in order to meet criteria to satisfy their water needs. So there are some issues on water. Whether you believe it or you don't, there are issues on water. I've tried to bring out here tonight truthful, factual information. I've done that ever since I've been a member of the board. Sometimes it's not the popular position to take, but I take it because I think you should hear all the information and not just some of it. So I hope you appreciate it. Thank you.
Mr. Simon. Mr. Simons, you have the floor.
Jeff Simons, 31 Hickory Lane. Of course, I'd like to support the passage of this Article 13. I'd like to particularly address voters like Mr. Reitmeyer who changed their mind after last Thursday's session. And I'd like to very respectfully request that we all pull together for this issue. Last Thursday evening I thought was extremely disturbing for a lot of different reasons, and I hope some of the town boards have realized some of the errors in judgment that they made that meeting very, very difficult. I think unfortunately the big result of that is it gets people very frustrated with town meeting. Perhaps low attendance at town meeting is a testament to that fact. And I hope that we can go ahead and work on negotiations before town meeting between the school committee and the finance committee, get some of these issues hammered out so they don't have to be done through parliamentary maneuvers and very difficult evenings like we had last time. I think the school committee hopefully learned a bit of a lesson as well. I don't think that they intended to act in bad faith when they pulled retirement money out of the budget, but unfortunately the result was a very, very long drawn-out process the other evening. My request is that we need to pull together as a town. This is not an us against them issue. This is something that we all need to work for, and it's not just on the spending side like this either. We also need to pull together on the revenue side, whether it's rezoning issues that come up, making our town more attractive to businesses that can come into town and increase our tax base. We need to pull together for these sorts of things. From a financial standpoint, I might point out that having that kind of an attractive school system might also be a key to being able to increase the kinds of businesses and people who would like to move into town to increase that tax base. So please, for those of you who were put off by the issue primarily surrounding the retirement of teachers, please don't hold that issue as hostage against the needs of the kids in the town. That's an issue that is probably not a one-time issue. It's something that we need to wrap our arms around and address. North Reading is not alone in this regard. There are communities all throughout the town where the teacher population is within a very short time of retiring. We definitely need to address that issue, but that's not the issue for tonight. The issue for tonight is please to pull together some money for the initial funding for this design. If not used this time, you can be certain that we'll be back because this need is not going to go away. That design process can be used for as many times as it might take to get the new school built. So please, let's pull together tonight. If you can, please separate last Thursday and prior town meeting sessions from tonight. Please vote yes for Article 13.
Chair recognizes two people waiting to be seeking recognition. First we'll take Mrs. O'Brien and then Mrs. Vaca. Mrs. O'Brien.
I went through the North Reading school system many, many, many years ago. And since he cannot get up to refute anything that I say, I'm going to have to tell you that I was several years behind Mr. Smith. There are a couple of things that I'd like to mention that have to do with what previous speakers had to say. And the first one is I hate to hear the Batchelder School talked about in a derogatory manner, because we have to understand that that building is probably the best constructed building that we have here in town, and certainly is better than the schools that we had built in the 50s and the 60s. And I just wanted everybody to know that there's nothing wrong with the Batchelder School other than the fact that it has outlived its usefulness, and it is old and not suitable for the classes that we have today. I also wanted to mention that the Historic District Commission's duty is to see to it that the town's historic center is protected. And someone had mentioned before the modular classrooms. And I just wanted to let you all know that the commission had voted, as Trish commented, for the 4 years plus 2 additional years. And being one of the members who was opposed to that, I wanted to only vote 3 years with 1 additional year. The rest of the commission outvoted me. But the thing is that we do not want to have the modular classrooms in the center of town any longer than necessary. So I would advise people not to plan on having the modulars to fall back on. I hope everyone will support this article this evening. Thank you.
Mrs. Vaca.
We as taxpayers are asked to perform one of the greatest balancing acts in today's society. We're asked to provide more and better curricular programs, and at the same time, we're asked to improve the quality of learning environment so that teachers and students alike can achieve their potential. It is time we recognize that we pay as much for inferior schools as we would to pay to have the best ones. We pay directly in the far higher operating cost of crumbling and obsolete facilities than in lost teacher productivity. North Reading deserves better. We cannot afford to miss an opportunity to redesign the purpose and functions of our school to meet the changing needs of our community. We cannot afford to miss an opportunity to receive 64% reimbursement. To make dramatic changes in the way our schools work, we must start with the buildings themselves. Thank you.
Mr. O'Brien.
Thank you, George. I'm in total support of Article 13. I think it's appropriate that we indeed spend the money to come up with these particular plans. As was just pointed out by a previous speaker over there, these plans will be used no matter what happens. Sometime in the future, this is going to happen, now, later, whatever. But right now, Article 13 is asking for $225,000 in plans. What I'd like to know is that these are the detailed working plans, for the construction of the building. What are these plans, please? What will they entail?
Would anybody on the school committee care to answer Mr. O'Brien's question? Oh, could you please answer Mr. O'Brien's question, if you would? Please, could you state your name and address, sir?
My name is Todd Lee. I'm an architect registered in the Commonwealth since 1968. I've designed schools in 30 states in the U.S. and some overseas, but some of my most exciting moments have been working with your school building committee. Mr. O'Brien, no, that fee is for the schematic design phase and the design development phase, which are the two phases where you really get the best handle on costs
these are preliminary plans for the detailed plans.
They are preliminary design plans and detailed design plans, but they are not contract documents. They aren't the working drawings.
And these will help us establish prices for the future, is that correct?
They will establish with great specificity the costs and the designs. They will simply not tell a contractor the quality of the concrete to put in and how big the windows are.
I understand what you're saying. Thank you for your answer. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, I indeed support this particular article. And when I get up to raise the question of what we were doing here, a point of order, that's what I wanted to focus in on. I think at this particular time, we are in need of these plans so that we do know what's happening and what we intend to spend, what we intend to do. So I ask for support for this particular article. I would like to also mention that Mr. Burton's point is well taken. When we look over the long term, what this would cost us if we were to proceed. Indeed, we're looking at 64% reimbursement. I'd like to know when this would be paid, so many years after the completion of the building, or is it appropriate to ask if we might get portioned as we go along? Could you just help me in some way there? Also, this is 3.3 that we're spending, and yet Mr. Burton says that with debt service over, I believe, a 20-year period. Is that correct?
Mr.
25
Burton,
years.
would you answer the question at the microphone so that everybody else can hear it too?
Would be over 25 years, Mr. Bryant.
And that debt service would cost us in the order of, I think you said $6 million.
That's correct, and the repayment would start about, let's see here, according to this chart. This is courtesy of the finance director, so I haven't had an opportunity to study it. You can see that the repayment starts here. So for the first 5 years, roughly, or 6 years, we will be bearing the full burden. For those that are not familiar with it, when you start paying off a bonded item, you pay it off over a specific number of years, and you simply divide the total principal by those number of years, as opposed to what you experience when you buy a home and pay mortgage with ballooned principal payments.
All right, thank you very much. Just factor in for me, if you would please, the concern that I just made about reimbursement when it takes place and how it will work in with this debt service.
As you can see here, the reimbursement starts at this point here, okay, and then by the time we get down to the bottom, indeed it is I guess one would have to sort of view it as a negative cash flow from the terms of expenditures, because there will be more coming in than paid out. What we would experience in terms of different sizes of homes, your tax bill, as you can see, would be relatively high for the first few years, and as we get out, it goes down. And actually, at the tail end of the operation, there is a credit. I think we all know in time, 25 years from now, it's kind of hard to predict. Probably indeed will have spent something else. And this simply looks nice, but is a true representation of this project within itself.
I think 25 years from now, it's not going to be a problem for me.
I'm with you. I'm on the way out.
Thank you, Mr. Burton. You've answered my question. I think the gentleman was about to rise to answer the other question I had concerning the reimbursement in phases, please.
Okay, the chair sees several people standing. You wish to answer the question? Yes, go ahead.
The project, after approval, would go on the list with the state. It's presumed at this point reimbursement would occur in year 6, and it would start in year 6 and go out 20 years from there. The 64% reimbursement is set, yes.
Mrs. O'Leary, and then the lady in the aisle over there, and then the lady in the aisle over there. Mrs. O'Leary, you go first. And move